Hey there, Nomads of Lore. I'm Sean.
And I'm Jonathan.
And together we are Mead and Mischief, your home away from no home. And in this video, we are going to be talking about our favorite and our least favorite moments from episode 2 of Amazon's Wheel of Time show. Quick spoiler alert for everything from episodes 1 and 2, mostly talking about 2, of course. And from the books, we'll just say blanket book spoilers. We're not going to get very deep and try not to do undue spoilers. But yeah, we'll be talking about the show for sure.
Awesome. So my least favorite part of episode 2 has to do with the thing that I'll be talking about a lot. I already said this. Shout out to Logith. Is the scene with Matt. So we've got, the scene building up to that is Lan telling everybody,
Don't
touch. And then Matt, of course, what does he do? Because he's Matt, he goes and touches things. And we have a little bit of intrigue.
A little more justified in the show, though, because Matt. He might be seeing Rand with the shadow thing. Sorry, derailing your whole concept.
No.
Maybe it's not your least favorite anymore.
No.
This is not a debate.
No. So we have a little scene, like he said, with there's a shadow that runs across the door, and then he goes into this room, and there's a bunch of rubble and a box, and he picks it up, and it's a dagger, and he takes the dagger, and okay, so he took a dagger because he needed it. So the reason it's my least favorite is because in the book, that scene is a lot more elaborate. There's a lot more that goes on into it. And in fact, we did a whole video about the change between the two, link in the iCard. And so basically, there's a lot that's missing and a lot that they could have done there to kind of give a little more intrigue to what's going on here and link.
Maybe more foreshadowing to the future.
Yeah.
There might be some subtle stuff, which we won't get into because spoilers, but... maybe some links to things that are, I don't know. We'll see what they do with it.
So if you're interested in that, go check out that other video.
We also in that video is worth noting. We talk about that whole concept in more depth and some theories on how they're going to kind of deal with that in the future. So
what's your least favorite?
So
scene?
My least favorite moment was actually that long moment, pretty much, and that was part of the dream sequence. I'm not really liking so far. We'll see where they go. I mean, obviously we've got a lot more dream stuff in the future. Sort of kind of spoiler, but not really. At the scary boogeyman with flaming eyes running at the camera jump scare moment. I was not a fan, and this is definitely a comparing to the books thing, but I just don't know what the point of it is at this point, like in the show. Like, why are they doing it that way? It's other than a jump scare horror moment. So it's a blinking, well, not blinking you miss it. Well, it is blinking you miss it. We'll have to test that out.
Well, it's
later.
especially interesting knowing who that person is in those dreams.
Or probably who
probably
it is.
Yeah, and what you find out later in the books, which we won't spoil.
A lot, and kind of like what Jonathan said, there is so much more to those early dream sequences with the characters in there, with the ta'veren and whatever, and some of those moments. In most first book we see mostly through the point of view of one particular character, but there's so much more to that, and that adds a lot, and so. We're not only we're missing that, but we just have this kind of useless dream boogeyman jump scare, and so I'm not a fan of the way they're doing some of those things so far.
Yeah,
so that's my least favorite.
We'll see. Hopefully they'll get better at it. My most favorite scene, mostest favorite scene from episode 2 is the scene where Perrin, I was about to say his nickname after we just talked about it, Perrin and the wolves and the foreshadowing of the wolves. So there's a scene where a bunch of wolves kind of surround him, and it sounds like they're growling and stuff, but then when you take a closer look,
they're just kind
of hanging out and looking at him and like, what's up, dude? And none of them are really aggressive, and in fact, one of them walks up to him, and then licks his leg and gets all the poison out and walks out. And so anyway, very cool scene because there's a lot to come with that. Hopefully at some point we'll do a video about that, maybe depending on where this goes.
How some of these things go, and
so
how much y'all like some of those things.
Yeah.
Moving over from Perrin and the Wolves, we get some wolves in sheep's clothing or white clothing or something. Because my favorite part from episode 2 was our introduction to the White Cloaks. And which is kind of this long, kind of the cold open part of this episode. And we get introduced to Eamon Valda, which we learn later is one of the questioners, of course. And we get a ton of White Cloak happening, right? We get to see so many things with this brutal, horrific, awful, intense, amazingly shot scene. We get to see that the White Cloaks are fanatic, or at least this one is. We learn later that maybe they're not all as crazy and wacko as this guy, right? And so we learn, which is interesting. We get a lot of White Cloak action now, but in this scene we get to learn that White Cloaks are crazy, they're fanatical, they hate the Aes Sedai, they have at least some ability somehow to get a hold of Aes Sedai and kill them and chop their hands off and steal their rings and then eat
some bird
terrifying bird thing that's stabbing you while you eat it.
Stabbing you just enough to draw blood,
which is interesting,
but not enough to hurt. Which I feel like
there's, I feel like there's some interesting foreshadowings and thought about stabbing harming yourself as you, I think there's some interesting things that are potentially foreshadowed there. And this shot was beautifully shot. I mean, the goblet was in the trailer or whatever, or the teaser or one of those two. So we see that and all this stuff, and it's just this super awesome, super well done introduction to this organization. With this added on, we're just starting to see that everybody potentially is bad, and there's just so much, so many layers of bad.
For those of you who are not book readers, you're going, okay, so that's like the 17th bad guy that they've introduced. How many bad guys are there?
Yeah, and so there's lots of stuff, which I really like. You know, this first season is like the first book is going to be a lot of them running away and trying to get and trying to figure out what to do and trying to escape from people and creatures and all kinds of different things. And so it's pretty fun stuff.
Well, Nomads, I hope you enjoyed that. And we, what were your favorite and least favorite scenes from episode 2? Right, put it down in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, there's bonus content. We've been telling you, hopefully as much as possible. You should check out their video. We'll link it here. How to get access some bonus content, some little shorts, and some
really good stuff.
Yeah,
actually, really good stuff.
You guys have a great and wonderful day.
Bye.